Good morning. Buenos dias, mi amigos. It's going to be a full Spanish stream today. Good morning, good morning. Welcome back. How's everyone doing? Another day, another dollar. Friday. Another beautiful day to be alive. Another beautiful day to look at some stocks, look at some charts. Good morning from Costa Rica. Nice. Beautiful. Here for the ads? Here for the ads. I'm running a test. You know what? Let me see if I can already see the results of that test. Let's see here. Can I already see the results of the test? Que rico. Que rico. Let's see. Now, can't see it yet, but maybe tomorrow I'll see it. Results aren't here yet. Did I reserve the Cybertruck? No. No, I did not. No Cybertruck for me. I'm not a big truck guy. Naples, Florida. I'll be there next week actually. The streams next week will be from Naples, Florida. I'm just here so I don't get fined. Welcome back. How's everyone doing? We catch the downside yesterday. Some nice downside yesterday. Some really important rejections, nice flip under those key levels on SPY QQQ. And I got to be honest, right? I was coming into yesterday, I was looking for the potential of those levels holding. And after seeing those reject and move lower, I am happy with the way that I was able to flip looking for downside. So, that was very important yesterday, being able to realize the pressure and the break of those levels and just really trusting that. So that was the key yesterday. What a flip to the downside. What a big move. And what some really nice setups. I recommend you guys go watch my video from last night, and I appreciate your guys' support on that video. A pretty well done, or a pretty nice result for people watching that, so I appreciate that. And some really nice trades in there. 3 live trades, and I hope you guys continue to enjoy those live trades. I don't know, man. I don't like to boast, but I don't see many, of those types of videos online. So I hope you guys are enjoying those. You don't really get too much live trading out there. So hopefully that is enjoyable for some of you. Buenos dia, Francis. Good morning. How's everyone doing? Got about a minute. We'll wait another minute until we get a few more people in here. If you guys could, press that like button. Subscribe to the channel if you guys are new. If you're new to the streams and you're not subscribed, just go ahead and press it. Go ahead and press it, man. It won't hurt. It won't hurt. I promise. All right. I appreciate that, Margin. I appreciate that. All right, let's get started. So today we got a little bit of economic news, a little bit of economic events. We got Jerome Powell speaking at the Jackson Hole. So here's my mindset, right? Let's go to the schedule, and then I'll give you my overall mindset on the day, right? And this is my mindset every Friday. This is the mindset that I think will save you in the long run on Fridays. If you had a good week, right? If you caught some of these moves this week, the worst thing you could possibly do, which I've been there, I've done that. You guys, any bad thing you can think of in trading, I have done it, okay? Don't think that me, or anyone else that you watch online has not been in the same terrible situations that you have been in. Trust me. If someone says they have not been, they are not actually trading, right? They are not a real trader, okay? I have been in the same terrible situations that everyone has been in. I have been in the situation where I've made nice profits all week, and I give it all back on a Friday. There is nothing worse than giving back profits on a Friday, one, for your account, but two, for your mentality, for your confidence, for your motivation, everything, for your overall well-being for the weekend, right? We like to have some fun on the weekends. Weekends are our time to enjoy, to have fun. We don't need to be thinking about the stupid shit that we did on a Friday to give back our profits that we made all week, okay? That is the number one goal all the time for me on a Friday. So on a day like today, where you had a big move yesterday, right? You have some economic events going on, scale down. If you're going to trade today, scale down. Take really small size. You take a little loss, so be it. But don't go out there today and try to be a hero, okay? Monday's a new day. Next week's a new trading opportunity. We can reset over the weekend. Today, you don't need to go crazy. That's always the goal for me on a Friday. I think it's a very good mentality if you are looking to be a trader for a long time, right? You got to have some of these rules for yourself, some guidelines for yourself. For me, Friday's always been a little bit of a tough day, and I have to listen to that, right? I have to listen to my analytics. My analytics of my trades tell me, right, Friday, be a little bit cautious, okay? So that's the way I come into today. I come into that every Friday, and I just wanted another word of wisdom for you guys today on a Friday heading into the trading day. So today, obviously, futures, as always, economic earnings calendar. Let's go ahead and pull up that economic calendar. Here it is. So you guys can see right there, right? Friday, consumer sentiment at 10, and then Jerome Powell will be starting to speak at 10 as well. So you have about 30 minutes from market open until Jerome Powell speaking at the Jackson Hole Summit. A lot of question marks, right? At 10 o'clock today. A lot of question marks. Do you need to be, full-sized in a zero DTE trade at 10 o'clock? Probably not, right? Probably not. So be careful of that, right? 10 o'clock today. 10 o'clock consumer sentiment. 10 o'clock Fed Chair Powell speaking at Jackson Hole Summit. Be careful of that. And I just can't stand but look at this BS offer. 2.9% APR for 36 months. That is complete and utter bait and switch, my friends. And that is a Miami offer, okay? Don't ever trust someone from Miami telling you that they can get you 2.9% interest on a car loan. Don't believe it. And you surely as hell are not going to believe this ad right here. Anyways, let's continue. So I don't think anything on the earnings calendar today. We had Ulta yesterday. Nothing on the docket today. So nothing I'm looking for on the earnings side either. So nothing really there. Back to the schedule. Tesla, really nice downside yesterday under that 20 SMA rejection. Back under that 240 level. We'll take a look at that 240 level. That was a big rejection yesterday. Apple, right back to that major 177 level today. This is something I'm watching. Nvidia. So, if we take a second and we think about, what happened with Nvidia, which we'll talk about that. Let's just go through the schedule. We'll talk about all this. I don't want to get too deep into it right now. But if you think about what happened to Nvidia real quick, the flip back under a very key level, a really ugly day post earnings. I can't help but think that there could be more downside here. So this is definitely something that I'm watching. Amazon 131, Costco, that swing trade I still have, and definitely something I'm going to continue to maintain. Microsoft 321, and then Netflix 412. You got 2.9 from Honda Finance on a new passport? Holy shit. Hey, maybe I'm wrong. That's pretty good, Richard. Nice. Yeah, if it's an incentive rate, maybe. I guess, yeah, if they're incentivizing. They're probably planning on making money on the back end. Or they're going to give you the buy rate might be 2.9, but they're, I don't know, man. I'm pretty familiar with the finance world there, and I would assume that maybe the 2.9 is the buy rate, and they're like, oh yeah, we got you 4%, but the buy rate's 2.9. They're building a point off you. I don't know. Hey, if you're getting 2.9% out there on a car rate, on a car interest, on a car loan, not bad. All right. So that's the schedule today. Let's see what happens. Let's go into the futures. Let's get the day started. If you guys could, once again, press that like button, subscribe to the channel. Let's end this week strong. Let's end this week smart. Let's do the right thing. Let's do the right thing. So, hourly chart on the NASDAQ. Major rejection yesterday. Why won't this zoom in? Okay, so here's your NASDAQ futures, right? Here's your NASDAQ futures. And yesterday, we came right back into this 15,400 area, this little double top from back here. And yeah, that was a pretty nice rejection. I was looking for the NASDAQ to try to hold that 50 SMA yesterday. I was trying to see if it would hold some of these previous highs here around this 15,330 area. No way, man. It went right through it. It didn't even have a chance. QQQ flushed right under that 327. I'm sorry, that 372. That's totally incorrect there. Back under that 372, quick flush under it. That was a key level yesterday. That SPY flushed right under that 444 we talked about. And since, at that point, it was just a total flip of those levels. So, big rejection here. 1, 2, and 3 rejection on the NASDAQ. The key levels that we broke into end of day, sort of at close, an hour before close, was right here, right? We broke, CNBC alert. Oh, nothing. We broke under this low, under this low, under this low, under this high, right? And under these lows here. The break of this little zone right here between 14,950 and 15,020, that was very, very key yesterday. And you can see this happened towards end of day, right? That was our second leg lower into end of day right here, right? You can see we had that big leg lower into that area, right? Right into that area. We consolidated for about, let's call it 2 to 3 hours, right? Little consolidation, 2 to 3 hours. And then look at this end of day rejection. Right? Look at how key this was. You guys see this right here? Previous lows, intraday on the NASDAQ futures, intraday lows, previous intraday lows. Look at this, right? This is very telling. Look at this right here. This little zone of this little consolidation. Where did we get stuck back below? We got stuck below the intraday lows, and we got stuck back below this 950 area. It really comes down to around 930. You could extend it to that, right? But I'm sort of keeping it at that 950. You guys can see right there, that 14,950 to 15,020 zone. That is the zone to watch today. If I go back to the 30-minute chart, and we look at this right here, if the NASDAQ stays below these lows right here, right? If we see something like this and we stay below this low, we stay below here, we stay below this, right? If we stay below these lows from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of this week on any type of push higher, right? If we see something like this, we start to reject, then that is going to potentially be a re-entry short right there, right? I would not look to play the upside. I would not look to play the upside today if the NASDAQ is below, at the very least, is below this triple bottom. That is at 15,020. I would not be a long trader into this zone here. I would be very cautious of trying to long this back into this triple bottom low and back into this triple bottom low. That is at 14,950 and 15,020, right? Now, the downside demand came in pretty much clearly, at the exact level that it was it was always intended to. You guys can see right here, previous lows, previous highs, right? This was that level that we went long off of on Monday of this week. If you guys go back and watch my video on Tuesday, some live trades on Tuesday, I went long on Tuesday of this week, or I'm sorry, on Monday of this week, because of this 14,800 hold right there, right? 14,800, break and retest hold. That is exactly where we came back to again. So, is this day potentially setting up for chop, for a tight zone? Yes, it very much could be, right? You could see the NASDAQ sort of trade within this zone for majority of the day after a big move yesterday, right? Demand at 14.8, supply around this 15,000 zone. I would be very cautious shorting into these lows, right? Don't short into 14.8 lows, and don't long into this 15,020 zone above. That's the zone I would be watching. That's your little area of sort of consolidation, right? You pretty much did this exact thing on Monday. You held 14.8. You rejected 15.2, right? 14.8 hold, 15.2 supply on Monday. Right now, you're looking at a similar thing. 14.8 hold, maybe up supply up here around this 14,950, 15,000 area. So that's what I'm watching on the NASDAQ. If we get a break of 14.8 today, you are absolutely, you are potentially seeing further downside on this market, right? If you get a break of this 14.8 and you start to see rejection step up at these lows, right, and at these previous lows, if you start to see rejection step up around that 14.8, then I would be looking for further downside today. That would be my downside confirmation, or a look to see if I could short the supply above. I want to go to the daily chart real quick, because this is a very interesting chart here, guys. This is a little concerning, I would say, for potentially more downside. If we go to this NASDAQ daily chart, this is a pretty clear little, in a little head and shoulder potential here on the NASDAQ futures. You guys can see left shoulder, head, and then that right shoulder was pretty apparent around that 15,400 area. This definitely looks, if we do get some more weakness on this market, this is definitely a little bit of a resemblance of a head and shoulder here, right? And a very nasty, if we zoom in a little bit, that's a pretty nasty engulfing red candle yesterday, right? You had, a few days of green upside, a pretty nasty engulfing red candle yesterday of the previous day's price action. So if we break that 14.8 today or next week, right, I could absolutely see this moving lower. So I'm a little bit more on that side of things. I don't really think I don't think the best trade of the day is going to be trying to long back into supply here today. At least that's my mindset as of right now. I really don't think the best trade of the day is going to be longing back into this supply here. I would be much more interested to see if this rejects or if we move back under 14.8 for some really clear confirmation of downside. So that's my NASDAQ look for now. We'll see what happens there. QQQ. I'm just going to point out the zone that you need to watch on the QQQ in the short term today, guys. It is very, very clear. 363 to 359, right? You guys can see right here. 363, right here, right here, right here, to 359, right here, and Monday's lows, right? Right there. So that's your zone today. You look for rejections at 363. You look for demand at 359, or if you break the channel, you look for the break and retest of either side. Those are the 4 trade possibilities that you look for today, right? You look for a push into 363. You look for supply to come in. Or if you break and hold above, possible more upside. If you break under 359 today, you look for the downside continuation. And if you pull back to 359 and you start to see a hold here, right? Obviously, depending on how the price action looks, you could look to see if that holds. 363, 359, QQQ, very clear levels there. ES, Daily chart on the ES, same thing, sort of that head and shoulder formation, right? It's very, very clear there. You guys can see left shoulder, right shoulder. It's very similar. Now, if we go to the hourly chart, I just wanted to point out this little zone that I think you need to watch today on the ES. ES has been a little bit less clear, a little bit less clean than the NASDAQ, in my opinion. But let's go ahead and review sort of what's going on here on the ES. So the zone that I'm watching on the ES here is between this 4,400 and this 4,410, right? 4,400 to 4,410. That is the lows from here, 4,410, 4,410 lows, 4,410 highs, right? A lot of consolidation at that 4,410 here, couple rejections there, rejections here, support here. And then once you broke that 4,410 yesterday, right? And look at the rejection that came in right here, guys. This is a very, very important candle yesterday. Look at this 4,410 wick rejection here at around 320 yesterday into close, right? Look at what happened after the ES tried to push into 4,410 end of day. Look at this 5-minute wick right here, and look at the result after that wick rejection of 4,410. So I would absolutely not be longing the ES into 4,410 today. Why long into that reaction that you saw from yesterday? So 4,410, if you get above it and you hold above it, right, things can flip. You know, you can never count out the market to do some crazy stuff. If you hold above 4,410, this could potentially flip. If you get this slow upside into 4,410 and you start to see rejections again today, right, this could be just a little retest, maybe a little bear flag into that supply on the S&P 500 futures. So let's see, right? 4,410, 4,400 area. Keep an eye on that area on the ES. The double bottom lows is the demand to be watching for. Here's the hourly chart. I would be looking for the demand at 43.75. You got the 100 SMA below as well. And then you got the 4,400 and 4,410. If you break back above 4,410 today, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. If we get above 44.10 today, and it's just real sloppy over here, right? If we just do something like this, and then maybe it goes back below, and you do some sloppy stuff around this level, I am going to be getting up out of this chair, and I'm going to be enjoying my weekend, okay? I'm going to tell you that right now. If I start feeling the scammy price action out there today, if it's not clean, if I don't see some clean rejections here where I think they should come in, right, and it's just sort of scammy price action, then I would be looking for, then I would be getting out of here, right? I want something either clean around this 44.10, right, a little bit of a supply rejection. If we get maybe a really solid hold above, maybe there's some short-term scalps there, right? But yeah, I want it to be clean here. And if it starts getting scammy in this zone, I would absolutely be cautious, guys. Be cautious in there. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Let's just see let's see what the price action looks like. Let's see if it's nice and clean. Let's watch this 44.10. You saw how clean it was here yesterday, at that 44.10. And so let's see if we can get that again, or if we can get some 4,400 rejections as well. All right. SPY. Let's go to SPY. Let's go to the hourly. Let's take a look at these levels. Let's go 30-minute. It looks to be around that 439 to around that 436 on the SPY. You guys can see right here. 439, little double bottom. You had this little hold here at 439. This is that same level. This is that 44.10 level on the ES futures. You guys can see right here. Look at this 5-minute candle, end of day yesterday on the SPY. See this? See this little 5-minute wick rejection candle at 439 yesterday, end of day, which caused the downside, right? That's exactly what we just talked about on the ES futures. Wick rejection candle, aggressive downside end of day. That's the same candle that happened on the SPY at 439. So let's see what happens at 439 today. Do we get a little rejection of it? Do we hold above it? That's really the key, in my opinion, in the short term. Again, news at 10 o'clock. Powell speaking at 10 o'clock. We have to be cautious today of any trades before that event. Okay, Dow Jones, very clear watch here today on the Dow. What is it? Break and retest of previous lows, right? If it's not as clean as this, then you got to be cautious trading on the Dow today, right? This should be, if the price action is actually weak, if we want to move lower, this is a very clean potential setup. Previous major lows on the Dow, quadruple bottom, and a clean as hell rejection end of day yesterday, right here. If the Dow sort of creeps higher, back into these levels, 34,300, 34,400, if you creep back into those levels, maybe back into that 100 SMA, this should be a break and retest rejection, right? Previous 1, 2, 3, 4 quadruple lows, quadruple bottom. If we go to the 5-minute chart, look at the rejection that stepped in yesterday around this level and the 100 SMA. You are sliding back into that level right now this morning, right? You can see right here, you're sliding back into that level. If there is a short today, it is at the retest of this 100 SMA and a retest of this 34,400, 34,350 area around here. If that doesn't step in, then just be a little bit cautious of some sloppy price action. That should be a nice looking setup there. That's what I would be looking for. Last one I got for you is a Russell on the futures, and I got nothing for you, man. It's just a channel. And the channel actually held, surprisingly, right? You can see 1, 2, 3, 4, quadruple bottom, very clear supply. Got nothing new for you, 1850 to 1880 on the Russell. Okay? So that's the futures. Nothing really new on the Russell. Very clear on the NASDAQ, right? We can see that. 14,950, 15,000 area. If we go to the ES, we're sort of right into that 4,400, 4,410 zone here. We'll have to see how this reacts. Powell at 10 o'clock, something we need to be cautious of, okay? All right, let's get into some stonks. Let's get into some stocks. Tesla. So, that's not Tesla. That's the 10-year. What the hell? How did that happen? All right. So, here's Tesla. And let's get into the names that we want to watch here. 229. I don't know how much I'm making off the ads. That's what I'm waiting to see. I'm running a test to see what it does. See if it's even worth it. Got to test some new things out. So 229 here on the on Tesla. You guys can see yesterday's lows, and here again we have this low from the pre-market, right? You guys can see right there. 229, 1, 2, 3, triple bottom, right? Very nice. You guys can see right here, previous highs. You had a little bit of support in there, right? So the big level is going to be this 228, 229 here on Tesla. That's the area that I'm going to be watching here on Tesla. If Tesla drops below 228, right, then I would be looking for potential downside. If Tesla drops 228, right, if we get that 228 drop today on Tesla, I would be looking for potentially more downside. Maybe you wait for the drop of this low just to be cautious, 226.50. But I would be looking to see if we can get a break and retest below yesterday's lows, right? That would be what I'm looking for today. If we can get a break and retest of yesterday's lows right here, and right here, then I would be looking for potentially more downside. So that's something I'm going to watch today on Tesla. Break and retest of around this 228, 229 area. If we get that, if we get market weakness, I love that short opportunity. If the market sort of maintains itself today and we really don't see much downside price action, then Tesla might just sort of chill out here and sort of just maintain this 228, 229 demand today. So For me, there's really only one trade today on Tesla, and it is 228 break and retest. I'm not going to be looking for the upside trade. Just not really interested in that. Fighting that weakness off 240. I would be looking for that break and hold under yesterday's lows for potentially more downside, right? And the reason I'm not that interested in the upside here today is, one, it's Friday. Two, very aggressive downside on the market yesterday. And three, that is a clear as day 240 previous 4-hour low turning into a double top high. And the 20 SMA rejection, not going to fight that, man. I'm just not going to fight that. So what I'm going to look for today, break and retest of previous day lows. Let's see if we get it. Apple, back to 177. You're back above 177, so this is very interesting. Apple is back at the key level. Apple's fighting for its life here. You guys can see right here. We are fighting for our lives right here at 177. So previous low, previous low, previous low, previous rejection, previous hold, and we're back above 177. So Apple, if it's above 177, be careful on the short side. This is definitely an area that can hold like it has in the past. So 177. If we fall back below that level today and we see rejection step in, this could be a nice short opportunity, right? You guys can see right here. This was back on Thursday of last week. You see this little wick rejection of 177? Bam, right? If you get that same thing today, that could be a watch, right? That could be a watch. So 177 on Apple today. See how it reacts. That's going to be a key level there for Apple. Nvidia, this looks interesting. This is definitely something that I am all eyes on today. This is a main watch for me. So you have this little uptrend on Nvidia. It's give or take. It's not perfect. Now, 480, okay? 480 is a must-watch level today. It's a must-watch level today on Nvidia. This looks very much primed for further downside in my eyes. Why is that? Okay, so you have a double top at 480. You have another high at 480, a triple top. You got through it, right? You got through it on earnings. You fell right back below it like it wasn't even there, right? That level. You tried to dance at it a little bit, but there was not enough pressure to hold that up. Now, today, right, you see a pop into that 480 again in the pre-market, and look at the selling that we're getting off that level. Look at this hourly chart, right? You can see we are turning 480 back into rejections. I am definitely interested in maybe taking some swing puts here on Nvidia, having a stop over 480. It's a clear as day stop, right? There's no doubting that, right? We know that if it gets back over 480, we have to stop out of our trade, but we know risk reward here is great, right? If we get a put here, swing puts around this 480 area, have a stop over 480. If we can get this nice little downside move, maybe back towards that channel low, this is risk reward that I'll take all day. So this is an absolute watch for me today. I hope this slows down on the selling before open, to be honest. I hope this slows down. I don't want to see this break down right now because I would like to get an entry somewhere up here, right, and have a stop over that 480. So very big watch today on Nvidia. Definitely something I'll be monitoring even into next week. All right. Amazon. So Amazon is holding this 4-hour demand still. Amazon's still sort of an outperformer. You guys can see right here. You have Amazon major previous highs around 131. You have these previous highs here, previous lows here. All of this happening at the exact 131 level and the 50 SMA. Today, you guys can see we traded back into that 131 level, right? So we traded right back into that 131 demand. So that's the level that's going to need to break. If Amazon can break under that 131, there is a gap here, or at least a little bit of a gap. But the next move would be down into this 126, right? If you can break this 131, I think your next move is down into this 126. So definitely a big watch there today. 131 demand, 50 SMA. You can see this little break, retest, rejection. That was very clean there on Amazon over the last few days. Very nice rejection of that 137 from yesterday. So watch that 131 today. That could be a very interesting level to watch. If we hold it, then, obviously no trade. If you break underneath it, things could get a little bit interesting towards that 126. So 131 demand, definitely a watch today on Amazon. All right, Costco. I am still in this swing trade. I've been in this swing trade since we broke 550. If you guys have, if you've been staying tuned to the live streams for a while, we've been stalking this Costco chart for months. And finally, we caught this thing. So I'm very happy that I was able to catch this. You had this uptrend on Costco. You had a clean double top at 570. If you guys remember the weekly chart, you guys remember me pointing out this weekly chart, right? Weekly chart supply. You guys can see right here, weekly supply, weekly supply, weekly supply, right? Very, very clear. I mean, you had 1, 2, 3, 4 weeks, an entire month. Costco rejected that same weekly supply level. Very nice downside. This was a very nice catch here. Is there more downside here? Absolutely, right? I think there could be much more downside. I think Costco could just sort of revert to its mean, right? If you look at Costco's moves over the last, this is not like short term. This is the last 2 years of trading. This is October of 2021. All that Costco does is it pushes higher and it reverts to a mean, right? Pushes higher, reverts to a mean. Pushes higher, maybe this is reverting to a mean again, right? And if it does, that could be here, and then it does this, and it just continues to do the same thing that it's been doing for 2 years, right? So, yeah, this is definitely something I'm going to continue to hold. I think we caught a really good entry here on this swing. We have to break this 530. That's really the next level to watch. 530, possible short-term demand. You might get a little bounce there off that level, but overall, the idea is still valid there. I would be monitoring this thing. If we break under 530, we could see more. So definitely something to watch. All right, Microsoft. This is, we got it back above it a little bit, so I don't know if I like it as much right now, but I will sort of talk you through. You could watch the ES levels to trade the SPY. Yes, absolutely. That's typically what I do. If I trade the SPY, it's not because I'm trading the SPY. It's because I'm trading the ES, really. Microsoft, this 321 area, we did just get above it, so the idea is a little bit invalidated here, but I will point it out either way. You have the 100 SMA right here at 321 on Microsoft. You also have some previous lows, major previous lows, and right here on Thursday of last week, you had a very nice rejection, right, of that 321. So that's something I'm going to watch today. What happens at this 100 SMA 321 level? Now, there could be there could be an upside trade as well. So keep an eye on that. But you have this 100 SMA right here, guys. This is just running across the screen. Look at the holds that came in yesterday before the break below the 100 SMA, right? We broke below the 100. We rejected it into close and got a very aggressive downside. We're back above it. So look to see, does Microsoft hold this 100 SMA in 321 for maybe a scalp to the upside? Or if we fall back below that 100 SMA and turn this low from yesterday into rejections, this could be another nice downside play. So either way, watching Microsoft 321 in the 100 SMA, I think that's a very nice level to be monitoring today. Okay, Netflix. Netflix is back at that 312. This is going to be interesting. So Netflix, you guys know 312 has been important, right? 312 right here, right there, and then 412, right? Once again, you have a 412 double bottom on Netflix on a 4-hour chart. And today, you are back sort of at that level. So I'm going to be monitoring sort of what happens at this 412. Do we fall back below it, right? Do we fall back below a 4-hour double bottom? Is it possible, obviously market's going to need to be weak today. Maybe it doesn't happen today. Maybe it happens next week. But I'm going to be monitoring whether this 4-hour double bottom, right, back here at 412, really starts to step up or not, right? Sort of in this area here. So 412 on Netflix, I think, is a interesting watch. Maybe not today, but I think you should be monitoring to see what happens around that area at this 4-hour double bottom. AMD actually is interesting me today, and here's why. Let me point this out to you, why I'm a little bit interested actually in AMD today. If you get more semiconductor weakness, I want to point out this previous high over here on AMD. You guys see right here, this little wick high, right? This is back from March of this year. This is at $102 a share, right? Right there. $102 a share is this high right here, back in March of 2023, this year, okay? Now, 102, remember that number, right? Remember $102 a share. Let me go ahead and show you what's going on here at $102 a share this morning. So, $102, right? Where did we find the demand bounce off of? Back on Friday of last week. What do you know? 102, right? Where are we stuck below in the pre-market today? What do you know? $102 a share. So, if AMD shows rejections here, I am absolutely looking for downside on AMD today. If you see that rejection step up at 102, that's an if. It's not, 100% certain that's going to happen. But if you start to see these wicks step up at 102 today, and you see rejections here at this previous low from last week, not only that, but the previous major high here, right, from March of this year. If you see rejections at 102 today, then I think you could see further downside here, right? I think you could see further downside here, especially with how weak AMD has been. So, big watch there today on AMD, 102 per share. See what happens at that level. That is a very interesting level there. And if I go to the volume profile, this is going to be very light between 102 and probably around this 88 area, right? So you can see right here, picks up a little bit around that 96, but you can see it gets light here, and then it gets light again. So this little area here, this straight up movement, you get a little bit of action. Actually, you know what? I think I know why it's... No, that's actually right. So you have a little bit of action that steps up in this area here, which is around that 96, right? But you have this low volume here until around, let's call it 98, which you could catch a nice little 4-point scalp today. It picks up a little bit, and then it falls back and gets heavy again back at this demand. So I'm watching this. This could be interesting. I'll be monitoring that 102 today to see if we stay below it. If we get back above 102, then I'm not interested. I'm not going to be watching it. All right. Relook at the NASDAQ. Yeah, we're just sort of chilling there. Demand still. ES. Okay, ES is pushing towards that 44.10. SPY into that 439. QQQ into that 363 demand or supply there. We did Amazon. Google 129 is a good watch. Keep an eye on that. I'm trying to think what else I've been sort of... Oh, let's go Meta. So Meta, I'm actually... Oh, shit, I forgot. I'm in Meta puts. Actually, no, I sold my Meta puts. Sorry. I had Meta puts all day yesterday. Really nice trade. If you guys want to see the live trade I took, go watch that in yesterday's video. But Meta, if we go to the 4-hour chart, sort of now just sort of stuck in this channel. So I'd be careful on Meta, in between this 277 demand and this 300, 305 supply. Yeah. 290 continues to be the level. 290. That was the level yesterday, and it's going to be the level again today. 290. Let's see what happens there. Yeah, that's what I would watch today. Look to see if we stay below 290. All right? Look to see if we stay below 290 on Meta. That is a previous... let me get more time here. That is a previous low right here. Right? You guys see this? 290, previous low, right? 290, previous lows here, previous highs here, 290, 290, 290. If we get a little bounce into that today, look to see if that rejects. That would be a nice watch as well on that 290. All right? If you want to watch longer live trades, then join the Discord. We're live for 2 hours, 3 hours, sometimes 4. All right? Thank you guys so much. I'm going to end it here. I hope you guys have a fantastic, fantastic end of the week. Be safe out there. Remember, Jerome Powell, 10 o'clock. Very important. Be careful of trading into that event. There could be some nasty volatility, especially on 0 DTE. Be cautious of that volatility. All right? If you guys could, press the like button. Try to get us to 1,000 likes. We got 1,800 people here. If we can get 1,000 likes, that would be great. A great way to end the week. Thank you guys for all the support. Thank you for supporting the channel. Thank you for showing up to the streams. Have a great weekend. And I will see you guys in Naples, Florida on Monday morning. Yeah. Did I take the shop trade yesterday? Negative. I would not take a long shop trade with a NASDAQ going straight down. Okay? That is something that you need to remember. Okay? I don't just take trades without having market confirmation. There's no reason to be taking long trades after seeing the NASDAQ yesterday. All right. Press that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I do not send... Please send a link with a coupon to join the Discord channel. Unless I've talked to you before and we're communicating elsewhere and I don't recognize your name, I am not sending you a coupon. New York, thank you for the $5 donation. And I hope you guys have a fantastic weekend. Peace.